Well, I don't know that it was so much St. Francis Bay as it was the Jack Nicklaus course in the links. As a matter of fact, I think in the very beginning, a lot of my friends thought I was going to die a death. I'd be off the planet in this little village. And as it turns out now, it's like, come see me. I'm not coming to see you. Okay, 30 seconds. I'll go quick. Started the game of golf when I was 4 years old because my brother and sister were old enough to babysit for me. So I wasn't allowed to go to the golf course with my parents, which made me want it even more. And I'm now 60 years later, 64 years old, having just loved this game forever. I have a great future behind me. But why am I in this business? It's hospitality. It's touching people. It's changing people's lives. It's taking care of their quality time. And so it started in Iowa, moved to Texas, and then the fan court opportunity came with a guy, a South African, that I worked with in Texas. And if I may, I would sum it up very simply by saying I came to fan court, I hired my wife to be. We've been together 25 years. So I'm married to a South African, and I'm married to South Africa by choice. I feel that in the 14 years that I've been at St. Francis Links, we actually went through a recession. We actually learned that a lot of people who initially invested in St. Francis Links invested. They didn't really want it to be their home. And so we went through quite a interesting period of time between 2009 and 2013 or 14, where it was quite testing. And then, effectively, we resold properties to people who want to be here. And the beauty of it all is the fact that my dad had the ability to retire, which is nice. He went to a place in Arizona called Sun City. It was a retirement community. And he came back to me and he said, "Hey, Jeff, I can't live somewhere like that where the flag's flying at half-mast every day." So one of the things we pushed hard for here is that, yes, there are people retired here, but there are people who have stayed young here forever because of the young family component as well, and the healthy component of St. Francis Bay. I like the fact that the community is a community. I like the fact that it's small and everybody knows each other. I like the fact that on our estate, it really is about the neighborhood. The kids can ride their bike. And next thing you know, somebody's got a Vorsi going over here, and he's saying, come by, let's have a little Vorsi together, sip a glass of red, and that happens. It happens every day. I mean, even at St. Francis Links, I call him my soup, Charles Blau, my superintendent, went up and built some rustic sundown spots with benches and a table, and the table's got a compass on it. And you just go on your own, and you take your own bottle of wine or your gin and tonic, and you see whoever's there. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't know that we're going to record this. The 21-year-old Jeff Claus was in 1979. It was a very nice era in life with music and entertainment. I fancied myself. So where was Jeff Claus at 21? I was at the University of Iowa. I had the desire to subsidize my college education with some income, and I ended up going from a pot washer to the manager of a 220-seat restaurant that had a salad bar that brought every pretty girl at the University of Iowa in, and it was an absolute smash hit. And that's when I got into hospitality. I mean, that's when I knew that my giving in life was going to be to work with people. Started at the bottom, cleaned clubs, washed carts, loaded bags, $265 an hour. And I had a deal with my friend Drew from Ohio that if we made more than $50 a day in tips, we'd eat steak. If we made less than $50, we ate a hamburger. 3 days in the next 6 months, we had hamburgers. We hustled. And I think the 21-year-old Jeff Claus was already ambitious. I mean, I'd worked since I was 13. I held every job that there was to do, from painting houses to pumping gas. And I knew that I was going for it. It wasn't about the cash. I think it was more about the interaction. And I found that everything that I did well, that I really did well, I did with people. I don't know how I'm actually going to put a T-bone steak with no basting. It's just got to be a proper steak, maybe some melted butter with a baked potato loaded. And how am I going to sneak that pasta on the side? Oh, I'll chase it down with some brown water, there's no doubt. If they give me my last chance, I'll go with a nice little single malt of note. All right, first of all, I think that Jamie and her team with Estate Living have really seized an opportunity to embrace the market of estate living, to embrace the market of community in South Africa. And let's not look at community as being some elitist thing necessarily. It's a lifestyle. And, you know, at St. Francis Links, we really play the lifestyle card hard with trails, with running, with park run, with all the things that our families can do. And estate living has taken they've highlighted us in the past for some of the things we do. And I just like what they produce. I like how they showcase South Africa. I like how they showcase the opportunities in South Africa. And obviously with Sotheby's, you know, you have always embraced St. Francis Links. You embraced the whole community. I mean, when I walked in here tonight, how's this when the first thing she says to me is, we've sold 50 properties since June. And I went, wow. And we sold 6 stands this week. So it's happening here, and it's happening because of people like Sotheby's, and it's happening because of an awareness that comes from estate living. You know, a lot of our people moving to us now, you forget that, you know, Golf Estates, when I came in 1991, Fancourt, where I started, was the second golf estate in this country. Here in St. Francis, though, it's different. Because when you come here and you come across the Crom River Bridge, your blood pressure just goes. No traffic, no waiting, no queues, and you can work from home, and you can work from here. And if you have to travel, it's an hour to the airport. So I don't even remember what your original question was, but all I'm saying is that for me to be here and to work with people like you and to work with estate living is only a pleasure. You know, this has been a special week, and it's been a special week in my life. The award that I won this week probably meant the most. I won the PGA Professional of the Year with a South African PGA. I was first nominated locally. And then when we got to the national end of it, there were basically 6 different divisions. There was club management, which I won nationally. It motivates me beyond. I'm blessed, and I'm blessed for the opportunity to continue to learn, and I'm blessed with the opportunity to continue to give. I think earlier in this discussion, I talked about the fact that I started Fancourt and I ended up hiring my wife. I now work for my wife. I mean, I'm the CEO, but Liesl, who will tell you she's not educated, she doesn't have the MBA, but let me tell you what, she's got the skill sets. And whether she's involved with the disaster volunteer group that fed 6,000 families, 1,500 families 4 times, or whether she's drafting letters for the board, or whether she's involved with selling the estate, or whether she's done one of 300 weddings. My Liesl is very special, and we're a team, and I love her to bits.